All right, we're going to start. We have two segments left, guys. So I want to ask you both this, and it can get as deep and controversial as you want it to be. But we're going to do a new segment here. I don't know what the name of it will be. I hope I'll have it before I release this. But it's a new hiking game, and I have some very challenging and controversial questions I want to ask you guys. So we'll start off here by asking you, either one of you can answer. Do you believe in a flat Earth? Why or why not? Silence.
Got to get those clicks, man, huh?
Does the Woods and Forests hiking show uh, hosts believe in a flat Earth, or do you not? I mean, is this where we draw a line in the sand and
I'm not a scientist, so I can't answer that question.
people unsubscribe because like we hurt their feelings? Like,
I don't believe in it because like the sun sets at different times at different locations across the globe, and like the lunar eclipse is like the Earth's shadow doesn't line it doesn't make sense if it's flat. So that's what kind of my way of thinking about it. But
come on, Babel, you don't have anything to say about it.
I don't know, man.
You don't have to be a scientist.
I'm not an archaeologist.
There's people that'll make comments that aren't qualified. It's all right. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's common sense.
You look at the thousands of years ago. This is just me, just not being a scientist, but you look at thousands of years ago when they built the pyramids and who they are. We're still, debating on that. Maybe it was the aliens. Maybe it was, I don't know, the United States or something. But thousands of years ago when they built the pyramids, specifically the Great Pyramid of Giza, is if you measure it accurately, apparently it's very, very close within like 1 degree of true north. And to build something that's like a 16-acre footprint, that's 2.5 million tons, or is it six? Millions of tons, right? So it's massive structure, and then also make it correctly, basically true north. So they have this knowledge and of either the sky or the surrounding environment. Back when people said, "Oh no, it wasn't until after Columbus that people realized the Earth wasn't flat." I feel like this is like the humanity kind of has amnesia and it forgot that the Earth was round. I feel like a long time ago they didn't know it was round. Somehow they like to be able to do some of the things that they did um, during the age where they were making megalithic structures, right? So thousands of years ago, to be able to do that and to be that precise, um, I feel like they would have known. And at some point, we just forgot that. I mean, look at our dark ages. You have a point in time when humanity did actually lose population growth. It actually went negative during the plague, right? And so you have this time period where like education's falling out. Rome isn't there anymore. Like we're not building roads. We're not building anything. We're just kind of, well, at least Europe. I can't speak for the Asian countries during those dynasties, but um and then as science kind of became important again, we got back onto, oh, okay, we're actually doing measurements, we're looking at the data, the Earth is round. And then somewhere along the way, an internet meme came up within the last 10 years and gained traction, and some people see it and it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna follow this because somebody on YouTube said it, and this just becomes, yeah, it's like a self perpetuating thing. A bunch of people are saying it, so oh, well, yeah, no, it has to be true. And all of the data seems to be something that could be debunked whenever they say why it's flat. But it's like an internet meme. Why weren't people talking about it in the 90s before YouTube? It's just like, oh, well, now we all have an opinion about something, so it must be flat. People can't think themselves.
That's a way to end that too. That's a good
Yeah.
one. Okay. That gave some fire at the end.
I'm
All
not a
right.
scientist, so don't believe me.
That's like
I have
what's
to have
his
a
name?
doctorate to talk about anything like how to drive a car. I need to have a doctorate or a PhD. You need to show your credentials for everything.
What was his name? Superfire, whatever. He's a did skits in the early 2010s. and he did rap battles, but he would say he's not a rapper, but he would always win the rap battles. It's one of those moments where it just reminded me of, I think it's Super Hot Fire. I don't know. We'll throw that up though. You guys will see what I'm talking about. It'll
The
make
thing
sense.
is, only the people that think it's flat care. I don't care if people think it's flat. I think it's funny. Like, I'll go to their meetings and listen to them talk. They can talk in front of 100,000 people. I'll sit there all day. You know, it's fine. It's kind of funny how stupid people are.
Oh man, we're getting into it
AFPG.
now. Yeah. Okay.
What do
Let's
you think, Aaron? Come on, you're the editor in chief here.
the editor in chief.
Yeah,
The editor in chief don't believe in a flat Earth. Yeah, I don't support that. But
I will say that the evidence they come up with, they are trying. Like they're not. I said they're stupid people. They are intelligent. They're more intelligent than I am, but they're just misled by their own convictions. I don't know. They're hearing it from other people and just trying to find evidence for something that doesn't exist. But they're using science to do so. And then they're kind of like, yeah, here's the results. And if you look at it the way I look at it, then it's what it is.
yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I hear people believe in different things all the time. So if you believe in a flat Earth, it doesn't really faze me. I've heard even crazier things than that. But at the end of the day, I don't think the Earth is flat. I also don't think that it's round. I think that it's more like what I think Neil deGrasse Tyson said this about it being like egg shaped. I think that makes some sense
It's a giant
with
rock.
gravity. Yeah. But I mean, if you say it's round, fine. I don't care. I'm not gonna. That's not my expertise. That's not where I'm a part of. I don't have a dog in that fight. So I'm gonna be the boring answer and say I just, But we have other good questions, so maybe I'll get animated about those.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So, do you believe that the Appalachian Mountains are haunted? This was a question that I got because National Geographic actually had a post about the Appalachian Mountains always having reports of scary things or creepy crawlies or whatever. A lot of the comments they said were a lot of people on drugs or drinking moonshine that were very poor roaming around the hills. That was what a lot of people not from this area said. But I'll give you guys a chance to take the mic and what are your thoughts?
I don't know.
Oh, this is getting deep. No one wants to answer this one.
I mean, I haven't really been through it, so I can't say. But you have thousands of miles of mountain ranges, and I'm sure some weird stuff has happened along the way. So everybody has a story. So
The
I'd say yeah,
moonshiners.
probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Not even just that. I mean, a lot of stuff can happen.
You think it could be haunted? All
People
right.
people bring things with them too. It's like one of those. Say, if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around, does it make a sound? Well, nobody is around. Is it actually haunted, or is it haunted when people finally show up? So.
Oh, there we go. That was a mic drop. That's a reverse question right there. That was good.
You've been rubbing off on me, Aaron.
All right. What do you think, Josh? You can answer that, or you can answer the original question.
I mean, I believe like in some haunted areas where there's a few like haunted cemeteries, I believe there might be some spirits going on there where there might be some, weird phenomenon going on that people might get scared of. It might be questionable for sure, but I'm not sure I really believe in ghosts, but there might be haunted spirits in different places. So I wouldn't say it's complete. They're not haunted.
I think all three of us are some Christian men here, and I think I think it's a good thing that nobody's taken the reins of like, all right, I can evangelize in this moment, and that's a good thing that we don't have people that are trying to be a street, what is it, a street prophet, I think is what they call them, a street preacher.
I have a soapbox behind me.
Yeah, yeah, we'll get some donation boxes for you, but no, I think that it's hard to answer it without that. For the sake of this platform, I would say, uh, sort of what Josh Babel said. I think that it's more about what was brought with them rather than what maybe it did exist here. Maybe there were things here, but if we're getting into cryptids and stuff, we'll have a part 2 about Bigfoot another day. But I don't know. I think it mostly would have come from what people brought with them or what they realized. We'll put it that way. Uh, would have been a good Halloween segment, but yeah, we're gonna take all the fun out of that one just because it means a little something different to people who are of the faith. But anyway, moving on. This is similar to cryptids or ghosts being in the Appalachian Mountains. Let's stick with that, but open it up to all of Pennsylvania. What rare animal do you believe could still be in Pennsylvania but has yet to be rediscovered?
Oh, that lion, not the lion, that
The,
mountain cat thing that you
the
said.
Eastern Mountain Lion?
No, the one in California area.
Oh, the Western Mountain Lion.
Like the big one, not the little guy. Like the man-sized one.
Yeah,
Not the bobcat. Yeah.
so the Western Mountain Lion.
Yeah.
You think that it's here and it just has yet to be documented?
I mean, maybe somebody brought it. Would it be able to survive? I don't know.
Oh yeah, they can survive. They survive in really bad climates. They're in Canada. I'm not hating on Canada, by the way. I'm just saying there's
No,
there's
it's bad environment.
The further north you get, the colder it is, the worse it is, and they're up there too. Is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna go with the Western Mountain Lion?
Is there's elk? There's elk here, isn't there?
Yeah, but they were reintroduced. Yeah.
Yeah. Like not far. It's like in the middle of Pennsylvania or something.
Yeah, their population's growing. It's still increasing.
Yo, I saw one in New Hampshire. We drove past one. He was on the side of the road. But it was dark and he was massive. Or she, I don't know.
That would have been a sight.
Yeah. Yeah, I when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't want to be standing in front of that thing.
Well, Josh Murchko, what do you got? You got any ideas of what could potentially still be out there that hasn't been seen?
I was gonna say Bigfoot, but you said you're gonna have another show on Bigfoot.
No,
so-
man, you could say
Talk about-
Bigfoot. That's fine. That's fine. But you're gonna characterize a Bigfoot as an animal, not a type of humanoid creature, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Okay.
But then we'll have to tax them.
He better be paying them taxes or the IRS is coming. He won't be a secret for long if he doesn't start paying.
Right.
Okay, so take me on a journey there, Josh Murchko. Like, what makes you think that there could be a Squatch out there, a Sam Squanch?
I used to watch Finding Bigfoot all the time, like that show on TV, and I've seen it. They go to all different places across the country, and they show pretty compelling evidence. Like they hear different sounds in the woods at night, and they see like tracks in the woods or whatever, and it's pretty compelling. Some of the things they do. So I'm pretty convinced that it might be out there. But that we just haven't been able to find them yet.
There's a guy who was on Animal Planet, and he has his own podcast. I'm talking about Forrest Galante. Shout out to him. I was on the Wild Times podcast. They shared an episode, their own take on Frog Week, which was pretty awesome. Shout out to Drew, who's also a podcaster and a panelist for this show, for the CCH podcast. He came out and he did an interview with me and filmed it and stuff. I definitely check that out. I'll put that in the description as well for you guys to see after this. But he works on the YouTube channel for Forrest Galante. And where I'm going with this is Forrest was the one on his podcast to say that he thinks that they're out there still, or they could be, because there's no apes or any primates or anything like that in North America. And like, why is that? So he poses some really good questions. He's an extraordinary tracker, and he's found animals that had been deemed extinct, and he's done a lot of cool stuff. He's a very interesting guy. So he would be probably one of your strongest cases if you did believe in there being a Bigfoot, and if there was a Bigfoot in North America. I'd say he would be one of the top people that has merit in feeling that way, if that makes sense. And of course, I think Joe Rogan probably would believe that too, but I don't know. You
The
guys know?
only I think it's interesting. The only massive counter argument, for at least for Pennsylvania, has got to be the fact that every year thousands of people get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to sit in the cold and stare into the woods and try to shoot a deer or some other game, and it's like somebody would have shot one by now. And even if they would have gotten attacked, usually people go with a friend or a brother, and there would be a lot of crazy stories. Um, I feel like it would have either been documented or somebody would have shot one by now. That I mean, we're talking like all of the state forests and public, grounds you're allowed to hunt on, and private. There's so many people that go hunting, it's ridiculous. And schools intentionally don't have, like in this part of Pennsylvania, Mondays, like I don't know about the school you went to, but Mondays they don't have school because, or yeah, Monday after Thanksgiving, because the first day of rifle, they know kids aren't going to go to school, neither are teachers, so it's like religious to them.
Good point. Anything to add to that, Josh Murchko, or how do you feel about
Not to say there isn't one though.
it?
I like to believe.
I mean, there's a lot of compelling evidence, but then again, like we would have found one by now if they were going to find it, so it's hard to say for sure.
Unless it was like really intelligent, like actually knew it was being tracked and was able to adapt, then it could avoid. But
Yeah.
Buried its dead, so you don't have bodies and stuff like that.
Or even like die in caves or something that we just don't have access to, or like hidden cryptid parts of caves, something like that. I don't know, because caves would have been a big deal to animals, like especially mammals back then.
Yeah,
Oh,
we haven't.
or even now.
I'm sure we haven't explored a majority of the caves in Pennsylvania. They go so deep and they're dangerous, and there's a lot of risks and
Yeah.
stuff.
I would think if there would be anything that would exist, it'd be between the Appalachian Mountains, the Ozark Trail, like out there, the Ozarks, and the Everglades. If I had, and maybe the mountains, like the Sierra Mountains and the Rocky Mountains, because a lot of that stuff's so difficult for terrain. It wouldn't have been colonized, but I don't know. I'm not there. Like, I don't necessarily. I think it's too much of a stretch. I could see a western mountain lion migrating over, but a giant megafauna mammal like that would walk on, let's say, it'd be like a miniature Chewbacca. I don't know that I'm there, but that doesn't mean that it's not out there. It's just harder at this point to make the claim that it is, but it doesn't mean that it's not. This was the only segment of any of my videos where I had guys arguing in the comments last time.
Oh, all right. Oh, last time, like, we're not arguing.
No. Like, there are two random guys that showed up and commented, and they were arguing with each other. Shout out to those guys. Yeah, bring it back. Yeah. Bring the heat back if you support pro Bigfoot. You don't think it existed ever, or like whatever. Yeah, let us know in the comments. Tell us what you thought about if the Appalachian Mountains were haunted, and why or why not. Same thing with the flat Earth. You think the Earth is flat? Give us a compelling reason why.